Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started a little bit early, ahead of schedule, right? I'm ahead of schedule. So there we go. On Thursday, we talked about it. We didn't know if we were going to do a live stream or not for sure. If you're new, awesome, welcome. And if you're returning, even better. Good to see you back. I didn't know, but you guys are motivating me to come back. What was it, last Friday? There was about 6,300 views total over a few days. And then on Tuesday, we did a live stream, and again, another 6,300 views. So thank you. I appreciate all of that. Help me with the algorithms. I appreciate it. It keeps me motivated, right? Keeps me motivated. So we were, over 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 here or there. But if we're doing 6,000 views, then I'm definitely motivated, and we'll keep trying to help as many people as possible. But with that, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We can do a couple things here before we get started. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. We will start with that. We'll put on the price targets, all that stuff. We'll get going here. Just beforehand, let's get rocking and rolling a little bit. Let's smash that like button. Help me, help you. Continue to help me, help you. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do? I don't know. Any emoji will do, right? And then click that repost button over there. Thank you. Appreciate it. While we're over here, let's see. Let's unpin that so we don't have too many. There you go. There you go. Boom. All right. Then we will pin that. Boom. Was it 9 o'clock? Yep. 9 o'clock on the dot. Getting ready to start. Rocking and rolling over here. So we'll cover Bitcoin. The first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin. We'll cover the altcoins. I'm not sure we're going to look at stocks today. Maybe the futures market, stuff like that. So we'll take a quick glance at it all and look it over. And then the second half of the live stream, make sure early bird gets the worm. So if you put in your chart requests early, most likely I'll be able to chart it for you. Take a look at it. Please include the ticker symbol. Please let me know if it's altcoins or stocks or whatever it is, just because if I have to search for it, maybe I've never charted it before. And sometimes there's the same ticker symbol for crypto or stocks. So just keep the live streaming, right? So help me out, keeping it smooth, keeping it running, and we can get through it all on there. So put that in the comments. And the last live stream, I forgot to do Doge, and then someone reminded me. You don't need to remind me like 5 times, but if we're getting close to the end and it sounds like I'm getting off the live stream, then remind me, because doing my best. So with that, let's get going. Oh, what did I label this? Oh, $90,000 Bitcoin watch party. Ooh. I'm sorry. I know it hurts. I would love Bitcoin to go to 150,000. I would love Bitcoin to go to $200,000. I would love Bitcoin to go to $1 million super cycle since 2021, right? But the reality is the reality, and that reality is we are somewhere in between. Just like the perma bears at 20,000, 16,000, 2022, we're calling for $3,000 Bitcoin, or Bitcoin's going to zero. I think there's been too much built on Bitcoin for it to go to zero. Of course, that could be wrong, but and I don't think we're going to see $1 million Bitcoin anytime soon. Everyone wanted the institutional players to come in. they've come in my opinion, when they started creating futures back in December 2017, when they started creating ETFs, then American ETFs, blah, 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 right? There's a ton of leverage. They can, the institutions, if they wanted to, you would think, now, I don't know, I'm not one of the institutions, but you would think that they would want lower prices, or if Bitcoin truly was going to change how money works, you would think that they would want to control it. And how do they do that? Well, if they make paper Bitcoin, right? It's not just the Bitcoin itself. There's derivatives of Bitcoin. So I call it paper Bitcoin. It's just easier to say than derivatives over and over again. Say that 10 times. I'll probably mess it up. But when they do that, it is, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying that it's possible they could suppress price and keep it low, and not let it go to certain amounts. Some have said that they've done that to gold, right? Some believe that gold per ounce should be $15,000. Gold is still under $3,000. So, but it's not all negative, right? Especially for the market snipers, right? There's amazing swing opportunities. Even if it doesn't go, yeah, you can't just, if that's true, if all of that were true, you can't just put money in and watch it go to $1 million overnight. I guess it's possible, but for swing trading, if you're taking swings to the upside and downside, or only the upside, but you don't forget to hit the sell button and lock in profits, then there are amazing swing opportunities. I still trade gold futures as well with leverage, and Bitcoin and altcoins, all that stuff. So there's massive opportunity out there for swing trades. It might not just be exactly what everyone hopes for, right? Usually it's somewhere in between. Maybe it'll go to $1 million one day. Maybe it'll go to zero one day, but the reality is probably somewhere in between, right? So with that, just something to think about, because there's a lot of narratives, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of noise, the three N's, right? The three negative Nancy N's out there. We just stare at charts, and we just stare at charts way too much, right? And so I will, if I'm going to risk money, I'm not an insider, right? And even if you are an insider, I've seen uh, a projected billionaire CEO who was an insider thinking his stock was going to go to a certain price, and then it crashed, right? There's always a bigger fish on the other end. And they even helped push him out of his own company. So once worth $800 million, forced out, still worth $200 million. He built the company up from zero all the way to there, and they shorted his stock hard, right? So there's always a bigger fish on the other end, and so it is. So even if you're an insider, it doesn't mean that you know what's going to happen next, because it's the stock market and stocks, and you're playing with bigger people out there. So what can I do, right? What can I do as a swing trader? Well, I can take matters in my own hands. I can learn what to do, and I can trust what I see on the charts after studying the charts and looking at them way too long, right? Way too long. So here we are. Will this head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin play out? I mean, we don't have a magic crystal ball. It continues to play out. It's first formed over here. This is a free indicator on TradingView, by the way. It started to form a right shoulder over here, and everyone was saying that it was drawn incorrectly. And I'm like, well, I'm not into patterns. I don't trade just based off of patterns, me personally. And it's a free indicator, right? So take it for what it is. But the target is lining up with a confluence of reasons why price could go below $90,000, and hence the Bitcoin watch party of $90,000, right? G-Rod, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you on here. Can we check? Ooh, yeah. I haven't looked at P. I always call it Panwa. I don't know why, but Pan W, right? I haven't looked at Pan W in a long time. Wow. Wow, that brings back 2020, 2021. I was trading Panwa on options. Wow, that's a while back. Ooh, memory lane. Cool. Yeah, we'll check it out. If I forget, remind me towards the end. But I'm pretty sure I won't forget. Tina, haven't seen you on here in a while. Maybe you just haven't messaged, but good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, 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 Thomas. Hello from Dr. Doc. Ooh, yeah. I see. I forget because everyone's got a different name on every single platform. It's like I can't remember the people in the Discord because they have a different name than Twitter X. I can't remember the people on Twitter X who have profiles on YouTube and they're not the same name across all platforms. Obviously, I remember Dr. Doc. But I didn't remember that Doc is actually Thomas. So good to see you on here. TRK. Do I? I'm not. Sorry, I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. We'll just call you TRK. Sorry, I apologize in advance. Grant, long time market sniper. Good to see you on here, my man. Go, Jesse. I always look forward to your view of the market. Yes. Not much is happening compared to the last live stream when there was a pending sell signal. When we went live, there wasn't even a pending sell signal. It just looked like there was about to be a pending sell signal on Bitcoin daily chart. So here we are. Then there was a pending sell signal after the live stream, I believe. Maybe it flashed during. I don't think so. But then it was a sell signal again. Then we had a candle close below the trailing dots yesterday, and it continues to break down below the trending dots again, right? So you can see this is a topping pattern over here. You can see that there's bearish divergence. If I pull up the indicator as well, the other indicator, that's the MACD. But you can see the indicator is even picking it up over here. Bearish divergence going all the way back to November 11th, right? Bearish divergence here, bearish divergence there, bearish divergence there. It's not picking up bearish divergence here. Sometimes it won't pick it up as far as bearish divergence continues to go, but you can change the input settings on the sensitivity of it, and it may or may not pick it up at different spots, right? So you can change it. It's all custom. You can change the settings and flip back and forth, right? Adjust the divergence sensitivity, right? So bearish divergence going all the way back to November 11th, all the way to December 17th, letting us know that I always ask for, just like in the Discord for years, right? We started the Discord April 2022, so I can say that now. And Grant was there. Grant was one of the first. Grant, were you the top 5 or the first 5? You definitely first 10 people into the Discord. Let me know, Grant. Were you top 5? I think so. Still there. Grant still going, right? Grant is on our website. Let's really embarrass Grant. Grant is on our website. He did a video. I think, wait, did we remove the videos? I can't remember if I removed the videos or not. Maybe under testimonials. Grant did a video for me too. He's still there. So yeah, we had bearish divergence from November 11th to December 17th. Price was overbought on December 17th. Price is overbought end of November, heading into end of November, right? And it can remain overbought. And it was overbought up to about $99,000. And then, of course, we saw price go all the way up to 108, right? And then what I've been saying since I started posting charts on the X app, that bearish divergence followed by a lower high is the higher probability that price is going lower, right? Why? Because bearish divergence can continue to have bearish divergence, as we've seen. There is bearish divergence here, here. Then there is additional bearish divergence as price went up. Then we had additional bearish divergence as price went higher. Then we had additional bearish divergence as price went all the way up to 108. Then we had a reversal candle, and it's not 100% accurate, but when you have divergence followed by a reversal candle, the probabilities continue to increase that price is going lower, right? Then if you have a lower high established, it's not confirmed yet, but it's looking like a lower high over here. That is the higher probability that price is going lower. So everything's kind of lined up with that. If we even look at the MACD, I posted earlier. Let's see. I posted earlier over here. What did I write? Confirmed. Here, let's get into it. Confirmed. Bitcoin had a candle close below the trading dots. The probabilities continue to increase of price going below $90,000 and hitting target 2, right? We don't have a magic crystal ball that price is going to target 3. We don't have a magic crystal ball that price is going to hit the head and shoulders target from TradingView below $76,000. We don't have a magic crystal ball that price is going all the way down to target 4 below $72,000. And we certainly don't have a magic crystal ball that price is going all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. In hindsight, if the price is going all the way back down the 200-week moving average, in hindsight, it was a bear market. In hindsight, it was too obvious, right? We don't ever know for sure. So there's really two thoughts that's going on out there right now, and it's battling. The two thoughts are we're still in a cycle and we're just correcting down, right? So if you're a perma bull, this is just a correction in the overall bullish cycle. And there has been 30% corrections, multiple 30% corrections in a bull run. And we could see it find support and then continue higher and higher and higher. So that is one thought. The other thought, which I'm going to show you some other reasons to be concerned or to be aware of, that it's always a possibility that it could go into a bear market. Way too early to call it. But at least a local top is happening. At least a local top is happening. And I'll show you some reasons. We've talked about and covered it on previous live streams, but we will cover it again in case you missed it. And we'll continue to look at it just to see it as things develop over time, right? All this is just talk. I don't think so. Yes, we've covered this every step of the way on the live streams. Just talking about it, right? Target 2 is in line with the sand for the IQ1. Okay. Been pretty spot on, but RSI is starting to show some minimum. That's a 1 hour chart, though. Yeah, that's 1 hour chart. Higher time frames overrule the lower time frames. The lower time frames are good for short-term bounces, right? Short-term bounces, short-term reversals, but the trend on the higher time frames are more dominant. Of course, it starts with lower time frames and goes on, but this is the daily chart so we'll stay on that for now. So I pointed out, oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, I pointed out, let me finish my thought. Pending. So you got confirmed because there is already a close. And then you got pending because the candle or what I'm talking about has not closed yet. So it's in the process of closing. And so that's why I labeled it differently. Confirmed, what has happened, and pending, what is in the process of happening. And that is another MACD bearish crossover on the daily chart. MACD is crossing the 0 line. That is a bearish milestone, and I'm pointing that out here because the sharpshooter candles 3.1 tells us when it's pending, and that's what I keep on. I keep the pending notifications on there always. I don't keep on there because the chart gets just too crazy. But there are settings on the sharpshooter candles 3.1 that it would alert you that there's a MACD crossover, bullish or bearish. MACD crossed the zero line, bullish or bearish. It will notify you all of that. I don't, just personal preference, because I want to keep the chart cleaner. But I do like to see the pending, because once it closes, then the pending goes away. But I like to know in real time, oh, I might have forgotten to look at the MACD. Just, I do like to look at it. It's not part of my action. Excuse me. It's not part of my actual trading strategy, but MACD is like the most commonly used indicator, and it was one of the first indicators I ever looked at before I went down the rabbit hole of RSI, and I really kind of built everything off of RSI. Added things here or there as time went on, but mostly RSI. But MACD was one of the first indicators on my chart, so I do like to have it on there. I don't look at it for like confirmations or anything, but I do like to look at it as like, okay, another check box, right? Okay, yeah, what it's showing what I'm seeing. So I want to see what I want to see first, and then let me just see. Oh yeah, MACD too. Okay. But I do like the pending on there still. So pending MACD bearish crossover on the 5-day chart. We covered that on Tuesday as well. So as you can see, there is a bearish crossover. It flipped back around, had another bearish crossover on the same day of the reversal candle, crossed back over, and now is crossing back to the downside. So 2 fake outs to the upside. Now the probabilities have, if we get a close today with another MACD bearish crossover and the MACD going below the zero line again, the probabilities have increased so much that I'd be surprised. I would be surprised if we don't go hit target 2, right? And then, of course, if target 2 doesn't find support, I would be surprised that we just flip right back around to go make new all-time highs and not hit target 3, possibly target 4, right? And then we talked about if target 3 or target 4 does not hold, then we can start talking about much lower prices, right? Much lower prices. So we will see. We'll be ready for it. We are ready for it to the upside. We are ready for it to the downside. Many people out there are worried that they cannot navigate the markets. So they hold and they hold and they hold. And the next thing you know, the asset's down 30%. Then they become forced hodlers. And then if it goes to minus 40%, then 50%. Many of you, oh my goodness. Yep, top 5, my man. One of the first 5 people into the Discord. It wasn't April, it was March. Yeah, so I finally put it together the last week of February, and then last week of February, March. I didn't even have an indicator built. I didn't have any recorded coaching videos built. I was just posting charts in there, and people just wanted to show up and then built it from there, right? So continuing to build it in there. Now we're on to doing our best to automate the trading. You can still go find all of my I've posted probably at least 7,600 posts in the Discord, probably 7,700 now, maybe more. I don't even know. Most of them are charts. I don't delete any of them. Where they work out, where they don't work out, I've posted them with all the details. They're not just target boxes. They're the actual targets and the reasons why. and you can go find all of those in the Discord. You can just search my name and the asset. I always label the asset, whether it's Bitcoin or if it's NVIDIA, I'll put an NVDA. Bitcoin, I usually write it out. But like if I did NVIDIA, it'd be NVIDIA, right? NVDA or Tesla, TSLA. I'll put that into the post as well. So you can search my name plus that, and all the posts will come up for it. And then you can sort it newest to oldest, right? So there's so many ways to go find all my old charts. Caesar, good afternoon. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's your thought about Theta? Yeah, very similar to all the other altcoins. We did cover it on Tuesday. I mean, we just took a glance at it, but we can cover it for you if you want. Yeah. Yep. Top 5. Yep. I can't seem to find the free Head and Shoulders indicator in TradingView. Do you have the creator name attached to it? I think it's TradingViews. If you go to technicals, and then you type in, let's see, technicals, right? I think it's just Head and Shoulders chart pattern. Yeah, right here. I think it's the first one. So I think it's really Trading Views. I don't think it's anyone else's. I think, yeah, Head and Shoulders chart pattern. First one that comes up. I didn't even type in head, right? Head, just type in head, and then under technicals you have Head and Shoulders chart pattern, right? Let's see. Yep, that's the one. That is the one. Hope that helps. Head and Shoulders chart pattern from TradingView. You got it. You got it. There's many more. There's other patterns on there. There's other stuff on there too. You could, like I said, I don't trade based off of the patterns, but it is interesting that it does line up with other targets in that $80,000 to $70,000 range. So in this case, I'm leaving it on for now, right? I'm leaving it on. If you watch me for any given time, you know my thoughts on it. You know my thoughts on it. Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. Well, just help me in return. Just help me in return. Smash a like, hit the repost button, throw in a comment. Well, you already threw in a comment. And share it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. 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 I was top 5. Ah, my man. Okay, there you go. So that's the Head and Shoulders. I don't do moving averages, but I always have the 200-week moving average on there. Again, it's not part of my trading strategy, but I do like to know, like I always talk about, right? I like to trade like, if just think about it like a rubber band, right? You got a rubber band, and if you pull a rubber band too far, I don't know if it's on the yeah, okay, it worked. If you pull the rubber band too far to the left, right? Not only does it's and you let go, not only does the rubber band come back to the middle, mean reversion, right? A lot of times it will go back the other way, right? Hence Bollinger Bands, stuff like that. I don't, again, my swing trading is not on Bollinger Bands either. But the concept is, a rubber band, Bollinger Bands. So if you got an asset that goes really far to one side, bullish or bearish, I'm expecting with a higher probability of a reversal situation that, if there is a higher probability reversal, then I'm expecting the mean reversion to come back not only to the middle, but possibly even the opposite direction, right? So if you zoom out here, this would kind of be your mean reversion, right? So if you kind of zoom out here, if you look at this like pivot down here, 49,000, pumped all the way up here to 108. Just a mean reversion. Like if you just added those two numbers together and divided by 2, what is that? 50, 158, 70. Just call it $75,000, right? Or eyeball test, right? If you did an eyeball test of a mean reversion, half, from 49,000 to 108, it's healthy for the market to come back to a mean reversion, which would be half of that, 75 to $80,000, right? Pretty cool. Yeah, 75. So yeah, 75 to $80,000. That makes sense to me, right? So if it gets extended really far to the upside, then a mean reversion, right? Eventually, a mean reversion. So that's what we're looking at here. It did it back here as well, right? Pumped all the way up to $73,000 from $38,000. And then what was that? About half of that, $49,000, right? More than half, right? So uh, if you were to add up, I don't know, 38 plus 73, oh God. It's almost 50% of that, right? So, it took a long time to play out. Took a long time to play out. Then we got another big pump up, right? Another big pump up. So, that is the reality. That is reality. Big pump up, mean reversion. In that case, hindsight, it was half. In hindsight, will it be half again? We don't know. Could be more, could be less. Definitely, right? Definitely all of the above, right? So we're just playing the probabilities game over here on Bitcoin. So, what else? What else? Let's look at some higher time frames. So yeah, we're on the $90,000 watch party. Do I think it's going to happen while we are on the live stream? No, I do not. No, I do not. It takes time to play out, right? Takes time to play out. One thing that is concerning is if we lose the fourth target over here at $70,000. If price does not find support at $70,000, then I could see a lot of billions of long liquidations get liquidated from this target box all the way down, possibly even lower. There's billions of long leverage liquidations, right? From like 35 to like 70. I don't know. There's billions, right? A lot more than that was liquidated up here, right? Of short liquidations. There was like a 5-to-1 ratio. Now I feel like just eyeball test. I don't know the exact data, but the eyeball test is about 10 to 15 times more long leverage liquidations below than there are short liquidations. It was like a 5-to-1. Now it's like a 10 to 15-to-1. So for the big players, the billions of dollars are down here, right? The billions of dollars. And we're talking about 3x leverage, 5x leverage, and 10x leverage. There's billions of dollars of long leverage liquidations down there. So we'll see. Because even if it comes down here, of course, there could be an epic bounce, right? So the two thoughts are price is going to come down here, and then the bull market continues onward, right? There's one thought. If price doesn't find support, it could get an epic bounce still, right? Trap some more longs like they did in 2022. You saw them all, right? You saw all of them in from January 2022 till March, end of March, April 2022. Grant can attest to this. I know Grant's history. Grant can contest to this. That many were bullish on that bounce of 2022 to January 2022 to I think it was first part of April 2022. There was a nice bounce of Bitcoin to $48,000, and the bull run was back on, right? And I had other reasons to believe that the bull run was over, right? And I was talking about the bear market, and a lot of these people were influencers, were selling courses, all that stuff. They were buying the dip again, and I was posting in the Discord. It's not a copy trading service, but I was letting them know that I was shorting Ethereum on that bounce of $3,408 with 10x leverage to the downside, right? Uh, why? Because why I chose Ethereum versus Bitcoin, because Ethereum I thought would have a bigger pullback to the downside than Bitcoin, so I saw it as a bigger opportunity. So that's why I chose to short Ethereum with 10x leverage back then. But Bitcoin was at $48,000, and there were people who weren't lucky enough to get out at the top of Bitcoin in November 2021, right? If we go all the way back, they didn't get out. You might as well show it on the chart if we're looking at it, right? So again, back in 2021, we had the bearish divergence, we had a lower high, and then after that last sell signal, price came all the way back down, right? So it was 52% drop. So many became forced hodlers. And then there was a bounce on Bitcoin of 46% to about that 48,000. There were still people calling for the bull run. Just think about that. Many experts from that sell, right? From that sell called the bull run was still on all the way, right? All the way. A 52% correction on I was like, there's not going to be a bull. The bull run is over, right? The bull run is over. There's not 52% corrections usually in a bull run. So, anyways, not for Bitcoin. In altcoins, yes, but not for Bitcoin. So for me, there was on the higher time frames, we're breaking down the monthly chart, the weekly chart, all that stuff. So I was, since the higher time frames had already flipped bearish as well, I was looking for shorts, right? So I was looking for shorts, and I was shorting the bounces in a strong uptrend. I typically just buy the dips and sell them. In the downtrend, I'm mostly just shorting them, right? Short the bounces in a bear market, buy the dip in a bull market, right? So try to trade with the actual trend. So very similar bearish divergence at the top of 2021. This was a lower high and shorted that, right? But on Ethereum, it looked almost identical to Ethereum. So, anyways, what are some similarities and differences on the weekly chart? Well, you had the bearish divergence longer term, followed by an RSI sell signal, right? And then, of course, at the bottom, we were looking at bullish divergence, followed by a buy signal. And then I was posting my first leverage long on Bitcoin was at $16,800 back in January. So you can see right here, there is bullish divergence at the bottom, not going to zero. And on January 4th, I took that leverage long trade, 16,800, and been in a bull run ever since, right? Been in a bull run ever since. Now we're here. So now we do have some similarities, right? So we do have, this would be bearish divergence on the weekly chart. Very similar to 2021. I told you we're going to have some negatives, right? We're going to have some negatives. Could there be additional bearish divergence? Yes, there could be. The probabilities are decreasing more and more. Guys, smash and mash that like button and share his videos. Help him to help us, guys. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. I appreciate that. Help me, help you, help me. Let's keep going. So now that we're flowing, now that we finally got flowing again, and I'm just talking, uh, you do have long-term bearish divergence similar to all right, let's do this. Let's get into it. Let's get into this, right? All right, so here we go. Let's do this. Let's make this yellow. Let's go deep. Let's go deep. I didn't have any of this planned, but now that I'm watching it. Right. Let's make that yellow. No, let's make that. Yeah, let's make that. Let's keep that red. All right. Now we'll add here. And then now we will add here. Right? So I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this was long-term bearish divergence, right? This is long-term bearish divergence. This is a sell signal after long-term bearish divergence on the weekly chart. This is a pending RSI sell signal on the weekly chart. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you when to buy or sell. It's not a copy trading service in the Discord. My purpose of starting the Discord was to help people learn it for themselves. So if one day I stop posting charts, if one day I'm not here, you can make your own decisions and control your own destiny. That was my purpose of starting the Discord. And many people pushed me for months, right? And then people were telling me they were getting scammed by people, impersonators, saying that they were Jesse Olsen, scamming people $1,000. So what did I do? I started a live coaching crew for $199 a month, way cheaper. I recorded those live coaching sessions, and now those recorded coaching sessions are still on there. They're not scripted. I had a basic outline for the first 8 or 9 videos. There are probably 30 or more videos, 60 plus hours, maybe 40 something videos. I don't even know. I stopped keeping count. And then they asked a million great questions, and I put every ounce of my heart, energy, and soul into those live coaching videos to try to explain every single thought I ever had about my trading. And I went all in on it. If some of the recorded videos they're supposed to be an hour, they would go hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours recorded, which means they went 3 hours not recorded. I mean, I went deep, and I feel like there was only 7 of them. I call them the Magnificent Seven. And so anyways, now you can still get those recorded coaching videos, $79 a month, right? Plus, I didn't even have indicators back then, but these indicators were built off of my strategy. I didn't build a strategy off of an indicator, right? So, I mean, unless you count RSI. But here we go. Here we go. Long-term bearish divergence on the weekly chart, followed by a sell signal, right? Bear market. I was one of the only ones calling this out in December 2021. We could be going in the bear market, right? We could be going into a bear market. It was the end of November, right? That sell signal was confirmed. I was already out of my Bitcoin position before that based off of the daily chart, right? I got out at $61,000 in November. And I remember it clear as day. I was caught up in the bullishness. I was overhyped. Same thing. Even though I called out bearish divergence in November, I wasn't as on top of it as I was down here at the bottom. And I wasn't on top of it as much as I am at the top, right? So here we are. So you can see that there from January 2021 till here, November, on the weekly chart, there's long-term divergence. And then you can see the sell signal at the end of November here, right? Potentially giving us a gift again. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but I can tell you that a couple other market snipers told me that they didn't get out back here, but they've been in the Discord for a while and they are friends and they were watching my live streams the last week or two, and they made their own decisions and they decided to get out of their Bitcoin position. And I know at least one of them, because he tells me, uh, made a lot of money. He said him and his wife went pretty much all in near the bottom when we were talking about back here, and he's out. He's 100% into cash, and he told me that. And I didn't say congratulate. I did say congratulations, but the next question was, well, are you making interest on that cash? And he said, yes, 5%. I'm like, yes, my man went to cash and is making 5% on said cash. And so my next thing was, I go right into it, right? Congratulate someone. It's amazing. And then right back into it and say, okay, into a coaching thing, right? It's just my natural thing. Okay, so you went to cash, you locked in profits, and now said cash is making 5%, right? Well, should keep up with inflation, right? Or pretty close, right? We don't know. We don't know what the real inflation is, but if inflation reported is 3.5% and you're making 5%, I'm going to say maybe you're keeping up with inflation. Better than nothing, right? And definitely better than if there's a 50% correction or 30% correction. And if there is a 30% correction and it continues higher, we'll be there for the swing trade, right? We'll be there. I'll be there. So I'm never worried about it, right? So anyways, he went to cash. He's making 5% on it recently. And in hindsight, he may be a hero, right? In hindsight, he may be a hero. So my goal in 2021 was the top minus 10 to 13%. I never expect to get the top, right? Because you could be guessing tops all the way up. But based off of higher probability reversals, my goal in 2021 was the top minus 10 to 13%. I did a video on it. Uh, I did a video. It's still there on YouTube. It was a terrible video, but I got like 2,000 views on it, and how I was going to sell the top with none of these indicators, and just with RSI and trend lines. And I got out top minus 12%. Even though I was really bullish, I still got out top minus 12%. Then my goal shifted to, I vowed to not get caught up in the hype again. I vowed, whether it's hype to the upside or hype to the downside. And sure enough, I just said in the Discord, I was like, just please, market makers, just give the Discord one more bull run. Please, market makers, just give the market snipers in the Discord bullish divergence, like you've given us so many times in the past, like you've given us bearish divergence at the top. It is a gift from the market makers. And whoever created RSI, I can't remember who it is. Oh, that's terrible. I use RSI every day of my life, and I forgot who created RSI, but thank him again. And then, of course, I've built my own strategy off of RSI, going deeper on it, really deep on it, in my opinion. And I've come up with something on RSI divergence that I've never read a book on it. I've only studied charts on it. And to my knowledge, I'm the only one who came up with this. And that's how to have a price target based off of divergence, right? So that's one of the proudest things I've done, is come up with that based off of countless charts, right? And I cover that on the recorded coaching video, divergence. I think that's like video 3. I don't know, 2 or 3. I don't know. It's early. It's important. And I give examples, stuff like that. So answer questions, all that stuff. But I beg the market makers to continue to let us know that there's divergence at the top. I begged the market makers to give us bullish divergence at the bottom for the market snipers and give us another bull run. and from in hindsight, from $16,800 all the way up to $108,000, I consider that a bull run. Could it go higher? Sure. Did we hope it would go higher? Did we have potential targets all the way up to like 125, 130? Yes. But we're getting the same signs again as 2021. Will it work out the same? I don't know. I don't know. But if it does, I'm already prepared for it, right? If it doesn't, and it's just a short-term thing and it bounces higher and price goes higher and puts in additional bearish divergence, that is a possibility. But as of right now, we have long-term bearish divergence. We have long-term bearish divergence again. We have a pending sell signal, and this looks like a sneaky lower high, right? A sneaky lower high in the weekly chart. So this was that epic bounce I talked about. So we're bounced here from January to end of end of March. I think it was end of March, early April. If you go to the daily chart, and the bulls were still calling for the super cycle. They were still calling for the bull market still on. And I was looking to short the bounce as a higher probability to the downside. Higher probability to the downside, right? Could have could the bull run back could have the bull run been back on? Sure. But based off of all my research, everything, I thought that RSI would come all the way back down to the 30 level. And in hindsight, I was right. And I put those charts out. Here we are again. It's been overbought on RSI weekly chart for a very long time, right? And as you can see, it can remain overbought for days, weeks, months, or even a year, right? Depending on what time frame you're looking at. So bearish divergence, followed by RSI sell signal. On the last bearish divergence, followed by RSI sell signal, price came back, what was it, 30 something percent? Yeah, it already came back 30% and then bounced, right? The next one, probably going to be at least another 30%. If it's a local top, 20 to 30% at least, I would say. And if probably 22 to 30% at least. And if it's the top, and we're going through a Bitcoin market correction reset, then it's going to be, if it's bear market, every bear market has been at least 70%, at least. And I think it's been at least 75%. So it's lesser to the upside, it's lesser to the downside. And here we are again, lesser percentage to the upside, right? So it got up to 108,000, but lesser percentage to the upside. And if it's another lesser percentage to the downside, then maybe it's only 70% or 70 to 75%. If it's a bigger bear market, like say the stock market as well, then it could always be more, right? It could always be more. But as of right now, this doesn't close until Sunday, right? So on Sunday, this sell signal will be confirmed. Of course, it could bounce short term. As you can see, sold, came down, bounce, and then came down again, right? So there we are. There we are. Hate to be a bearer of bad news, but I can tell you with all these people posting, all these big influencers posting that, buy the dip, it's deja vu. They were doing the same thing in 2021, and I lost a lot of perma bull friends in 2021, end of 2021, early 2022, and because I tried to really help people, and I went really deep on all the comments saying, no, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. You don't hear me doing that this time, right? You don't hear me doing that this time. If you didn't learn from the first time, and you don't learn the second, for the second time, that's on you, right? First time, okay, that sucks. That sucks. I feel for you. I listen to many people who uh told me their stories and they wish they would have followed my charts and they wish they would have listened to me, even though I'm not giving them financial advice. I'm just showing them what I see on the chart. And what I'm seeing on the chart is clear bearish divergence on the weekly chart with a pending RSI sell signal. And if you go to the MACD, right, on the weekly chart, you've got MACD bearish crossover. This is a lagging indicator, right? It's a lagging indicator. You can see the crossover here. It doesn't happen often. And then there was a nice pump from October 2020. So it's not just bearish. I'm not a perma bear, right? Uh, in a downtrend, I'm called a perma bear. In an uptrend, I'm called a perma bull, right? I'm a swing trader, right? I'm a swing trader. I'm a perma swing trader, right? So if you've got again, I don't put as much weight into patterns. Just like I've been showing the head and shoulders pattern, I've been showing it. Uh but I don't put my weight into patterns, right? So the head and shoulders pattern or the bull flag, if you've listened to me for any length of time, you know my thoughts. That's probably 50-50, which is not good enough for me. And then for price to actually hit the target of a pattern, depending on if you draw it correctly or not, it's probably 30 to 35%. So take that for what it is. But we had a MACD bearish crossover on the weekly chart here. We had a bullish MACD crossover here, and it takes a while to play out. But you can see that the histogram was trending downward first, and then the crossover hit, and of course the MACD went bearish after that, and there's a 38% correction, right? Histogram again, showing the divergence, right, on the histogram. MACD is hooking, but it's lagging on the weekly chart, right, compared to RSI. And if you go to the 5-day chart, you've got similar, right? So again, if you go back to October 2023, it was a bullish crossover. Yes, it was a fake out because of the lower time frames. And then you had another MACD bearish crossover with the histogram, right? You had a bullish MACD crossover in September 2024 for that last pump. And now you've got a MACD pending bearish crossover again, but you also had the histogram decreasing, and now it's red. Crossover, red here again. So the charts are the charts. I'm not telling you, the charts are telling you. I'm just showing you what I see on the charts. The things on the chart that I'm showing you are the same things I saw in 2021. And, so the probabilities are starting to increase more and more. And it's going to be a hindsight. It's going to be a hindsight that it was so obvious, right? I called it out in 2021, but now I've seen 2021 before. So everything I thought could happen in 2021 did happen. Everything that I'm seeing in end of 2024 is starting to happen again, right? So will it happen again? It's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. It never is. If it was a guarantee, I would be a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire. And it's never a guarantee, right? I don't go all in. If it was a guarantee, I would go all in, right? But it's not a guarantee, and I don't go all in. And I'm not shorting Bitcoin. Yes, I shorted the Nasdaq. I don't want to be in too many positions. Uh, if there's a big correction and then an epic bounce to create a lower high, maybe I'll short it again. I don't know. Maybe I'll short Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm not shorting Bitcoin. But as my Discord brother of another mother over there was telling me, uh, he uh, he went all cash on Bitcoin. Right? He had a big position in Bitcoin. We're not talking about $1,000. We're not talking about $10,000. Talking about a lot of money. Right? He went big. Right? And he went big on going to cash. So take that for what it is. I didn't tell him what to do. Uh, and I'm never going to tell you what to do. It's your own thing. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing on the charts that are happening again. If you look at the 5-day, if we go back to 2021, you had the first top on the 5-day chart, right? When it crossed over, it hit red, right? But before that, the histogram was decreasing. There was divergence in the MACD, right? Histogram decreasing on the 5-day chart. Then there was a crossover, April 2021. We know what happened after that. There's a 52% correction. And then there is bullish divergence on the MACD, and then the crossover, and it went bullish there. And if you weren't following me back then, one of my top 5 trades of all time was a leverage long position on Bitcoin with 10x leverage at $32,000. It was back in July of 2021. And I rode that all the way to September. That wasn't the top. Yeah, that was just outside my top 5. Took profit, and then because it's 10x leverage, and then got back in that second bounce again with 10x leverage all the way up to 61,000. I did give back 6 digits worth of unrealized gains, but it was more than 6-digit gains on those. So those trades were 6-digit gains, and I was making more than I was making in the mortgage and real estate. And that's when I decided that I could quit my 17-year career of mortgage and real estate, self-taught, right? That's when I decided that I've got it. I've got my own system. I've executed it. I've proved it, and I've banked enough, right? And I've banked enough. Uh, is it scary? Sure. But I was a entrepreneur, business owner, uh, already failed many times in the past, went back to zero, at least twice, right? Went back to zero in previous businesses. So I got comfortable with being uncomfortable. But then here we are, right? That last crossover, right? Again, the histogram decreasing while the MACD is increasing. And then the MACD crossover on the 5-day red, right? And then we know what happened after that. This was the lower high. This was the even higher probability because now you're getting a MACD bearish crossover below the zero line, which is bearish. So below the zero line is probably the highest probability with RSI putting in a lower high. And you got MACD bearish crossovers below the zero line, just as if there was a MACD bullish crossover above the zero line is a higher probability, right? So take that for what it is. That was 2021, right? That was 2021. Then we're looking at lagging, right? We're looking at lagging. You had a crossover here, but it's way below the zero line. Way below the zero line. And it wasn't until, all this divergence, right? All this divergence. And then an RSI gave us the divergence again. When was it? About right. I think it's sometime in December, right? After all that bullish divergence, MACD started getting back closer to the zero line on the 5-day chart. So here we are, right? Here we are. Histogram leaving, diverging with the MACD going higher, came back down, 38% correction. bounce to 108, histogram going lower, MACD curling over, getting higher and higher, and now it's going lower and crossing, and you got the red line again. So anyone, any expert, anyone posting, gonna find support, and the supports keep getting lower and lower. And it's like deja vu, right? It's like deja vu. It's like I'm seeing it all over again. So take it for what it is. If you're one of them calling the bottom all the way down, then I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I won't call you out like I did back then by name and like really dig into it. I thought I was helping people by doing that because there's a lot of followers that were, the followers make their own decisions, right? It's their money. It's not like I have access to your account or anything like that. So it's all on you. So it's all on you on what you decide. You know, maybe you got in at the top and you're going to take 10 to 15% loss, right? The alternative is if this is the top, where we're going for a bigger correction, more than 40%, then in hindsight, taking a 10 to 15% loss is better than, forced hodling a 70% correction. Trust me. And a 10 to 15% loss puts you in a power position to go find the next possible bullish asset if you don't feel comfortable shorting or whatever the case may be. So that's that. Spent an hour on it. Holy moly, guacamole. That was a lot. But the tried and true, the perma bulls are the perma bulls. And they all claim that this time is different, or that this time is different, that they're going to take profits at the top. And here we are, potential the top, definitely a local top. There's no doubting the local top, potentially the top. And there's still, their plan this entire time was we're taking profits at the top. We're taking profits at the top. Yet they're all calling support at 100,000, 95,000, 90,000. Then it'll be 85,000. Then it's the move the goalpost to the 50-day MA. Then it's the 50-day EMA. Then it's the 50 MA moving average, 50-week moving average. Then it's the 100-day. Then it's the 200-day. Then it's the 200-week moving average. By then, it's already down 50, 70%, force hodling, and again, they're out. Or they don't tell you that they got out, right? So I don't know. But that is bearish divergence followed by a RSI sell signal, followed by a possible lower high. The week isn't over. Best video? I thought you were talking about $150,000 Bitcoin. Doc. What are your stance? What's your stance? Remember, we talked about it. We covered it. You were pretty close to the $80,000 Bitcoin. What was that? Over a year ago. Really far off on your 150 prediction by quarter one 2024. But here we are talking about possible the top, right? Possible the top. Definitely local top. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's possible, or are we going higher? Now, I'm going to give you one counter. This time is different. I will give you one. All these line up to me pointing at one thing, right? There's one reason why it could be wrong, but I'm going to stick to you were right. Me not. Top is in. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's not a guarantee, but I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. So, if there was one counter, if I could find one bullish counter, right? One bullish counter. If you had one glimmer of hope left, it would be wrong one. Let's see. Having. There we go. It would be. Oh, I thought I followed the having tracker. I'll follow the having tracker. It would be this, right? This would be like the one hope. That's it. Everything else in my world on RSI, MACD, the charts, blah, 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 is pointing to a bigger correction. This is the one counter. Oh, I forgot to turn my hat on backwards. Oh, man. How's the hair? I don't know. We'll leave it on. Over an hour, right? Oh, no, because we started it 10 minutes early, but I haven't been doing it quite an hour yet. So this would be the one bullish counter. So if you got hope for one more epic bounce, then I don't know if you can see my cursor. It's kind of hard to see because the chart's white. The cursor's white. If there is a bigger correction, that would kind of line up with here and here and or here. Say there's a bigger correction, right? And then there was one more epic bounce, maybe 200-300 days from now, like there was here, here, and here. Whether it makes a new all-time high, like here and here, or it makes a lower high, right? So could be a bigger correction followed by a lower high, but could be an epic bounce, 40, 50%. So that would be like that would be like my one bullish thought is that this chart, right? But that's it. Everything else that I build my trading strategy off of is saying otherwise, right? Saying otherwise. But that would be your one bullish counter. I wanted to give at least one bullish counter so that I don't get too bearish. So if there is an epic bounce, I'm not calling Bitcoin to go to zero. So if there is an epic bounce, I want to be there for it. I want to be there for it. I want to take advantage of it, and I'll be all over it to the best of my ability. But this is the 5-day chart. If we go to the weekly chart, this is the weekly chart, bearish divergence, followed by a pending RSI sell signal, right? Oh, the 5-day, when does that close? Oh, that already closed. So now we're just waiting on the weekly to close, which is should be Sunday at 5 p.m. my time, I believe. I think it's 5 time. 5 or 4. I don't know. Daylight savings always throws me off. So that's that, right? That is that. If it is the top, right, then what are we looking at? If it is the top, I would expect price to at least come back down the 200-week moving average. If it is the top, we're not there yet. If we start seeing price, if price bounces target 4 and then bounces up and then comes back down, right? And breaks target 4, then I'll be like really confident that price is going back to the 200-week moving average. But it's got to get below target 4 first with closes. Then I'll get really confident about the 200-week moving average. So, but on this the top price did come back down to the 200-week moving average, right? And end up reversing it at some point in 2023, came back below, and then off to the races from there. And if you look at the 200-week moving average over time, most likely it came back, retested it here. Most likely it came back, retested it here. There's just not enough chart history on this one. I think in Bitstamp, it does show it. So if I move it, it did hit the 200-week moving average here and here as well. So major pullbacks. This is a 70% pullback as well. And that, so we'll see. Let's see. Speaking of, we'll see. So this is price. This is a bearish candle. This is another bearish candle. Could be a bearish engulfing weekly candle. Doesn't look great. If we start looking at the higher time frames, 2-week chart had a reversal candle and a bearish engulfing candle. That doesn't look great. This is a bearish engulfing candle on the 2-week chart. This is a bearish engulfing candle on the 2-week chart. You get the point, right? You get the point. 2 bearish engulfing candles at the top here, here, here. If you go to Bitstamp, you can see the 200-week moving average here. Yeah, I was right. My memory. I always thought my memory was like top notch, and then you have a baby that doesn't sleep for the first 7 weeks, and then it's just trying to get caught up from there, right? So 200-week moving average, 200-week moving average, right? So break that last final support, and then I'll be even more confident that price will come back down to 200-week moving average, which is sitting at about $43,000. And if it goes below, like it has in the past, let's see, 34% below, right? Let's see, 34% below. But say lesser to the downside, maybe 30%, maybe less. I don't know. Depending, things could change, could go a lot lower, but 30%, maybe that's the bottom. 30, 35,000. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't even thought about price targets to the downside yet, right? I haven't even thought about it. We're not there yet, but the 2-week chart doesn't look great for the perma bulls. The 2-week chart also has bearish divergence getting picked up on the indicator. This could be a sneaky lower high over here as well. The probabilities are increasing that RSI at least comes back to the 50. And then, of course, could catch that bounce over here, trap some more bulls, and then come back down to these lower levels. So if it closes like this, the probabilities are even increasing on the 2-week chart. And then we get to the monthly chart. Sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. We have the indicator picking up bearish divergence on the monthly chart. Closed. This candle closed December. That was the November one. Bearish divergence, right? The indicator is not picking up based off of the current settings, but I do know for a fact changing the settings back, this here and here was bearish divergence on the monthly chart as well. So there's that, right? So the monthly chart had bearish divergence and price went lower. Monthly chart is over bought conditions with bearish divergence again, right? So another price is overbought with RSI was overbought 2013. There was bearish divergence on the monthly chart. Then there was a sell signal on the monthly chart, but by then it's really lagging by then, and it was a bear market, right? So there's that. Monthly chart, waiting for a sell signal on the monthly chart is really, really lagging, right? Really lagging. Talking about a month or two. Still earlier than most, right? But you got that sell signal, and then you had that 40% bounce, had a massive bounce that created bearish divergence, right? And then came back down, and then had another big 46% bounce, right? So here we are. Possible peak, possible lower peak after this nice bounce to $108,000. Then we're going to find out if that was the top again. Speaking of the watch party of $90,000, we are down 2.5%. We are down to $92,600. We are getting closer and closer and closer to $90,000 target 2. That's the monthly chart, right? The daily chart, pending RSI sell signal, pending. Breaking down, getting closer to the trading view, neckline drawn out. What else? Well, I think we'll keep going. I think we'll keep going. I got the hat on backwards. I need to take a break and not a long break. I need to take 30 seconds and go get some more water. And then we'll come back and do theta. What else? Put in your requests. Oh, Panwa. Panwa is the first one. Could we check out Panwa? Yes. 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 We could check out Panwa. So that's Bitcoin. We'll go through the altcoins, but I really wanted to dig in on Bitcoin. There's some big signs talking about, showing me what I'm seeing. We've been talking about it as possibilities for a while, and they're starting to get louder and louder. And this is why I'm spending so much time on it today, right? We've covered it in the past. Even on last Friday, I spent an hour on Bitcoin, right? I spent an hour on Bitcoin. So there you go. What else? Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. But give me I'm gonna go get some more water real quick. I gotta go downstairs and
Mic check.
Mic check. We're back. Water break. I had to grab me a little cutie. I guess they're called cuties, but they're oranges. These are so good. Tasty. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. All right. Where are we at? We spent over an hour. We went hard on Bitcoin, right? So now you know my thoughts. $90,000 Bitcoin watch party. Here we are. And I was playing around. I never posted this, but I was if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then that's probably a good thing. That was me all of 2022 when the perma bulls were saying the bull run, the bull run, the bull run, the bull run, and just had these huge crazy arrows every level, right? So it would be like the next breakout is 1 million, right? And then it goes lower. And then the next breakout is 1 million. And then target 2. Bitcoin next target is 140 still, right? And then by the dip, the next target down still going to 140, right? Meanwhile, RSI is leaving the room. Meanwhile, hopefully everyone's hearing me on this rant. give me a thumbs up over here, or listen to me ramble, or give me a quick comment. Someone thumbs up that you can hear me. I'm pretty sure we should be good to go. And then you'll see it all the way, right? You'll see it all the way. I already saw this all the way in 2021. And it was mind blowing, right? Mind blowing. So starts up here, target 1, target 2, target 3, and then Bitcoin finds support here, and then we go still to 140. Meanwhile, there's bearish divergence, short term, midterm, long term. You're going to see a ton of posts. I think I commented on 1 or 2 of them today with my charts. They're looking for 1 hour bullish divergence. They're looking for 4 hour bullish divergence. Anything to manifest going higher. And short term, it could with bullish divergence in the 1 hour, the 4 hour chart, blah, 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 blah. 5 minute chart, 1 minute chart. In short term, yes, it could. And expect corrections to the upside and downside, right? But the daily chart is bearish. The weekly chart has got bearish divergence. MACD, we covered it all, right? 2-week chart, bearish divergence. Monthly chart, bearish divergence. Blah, 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 blah. So then you'll see the arrow on this target, right? And then no one even acknowledges. So my thing is, I think they just do it for following, right? Because the entire bear market, they grew their accounts 3 times, and mine didn't grow too much at all because I was posting actual bearish charts versus bullish hopium like this all the way down, right? And then it's, we're going to the moon after that. We're going to $500,000 Bitcoin tomorrow. I'm like, no, it takes time for the ship to get turned around, right? It takes time for the ship to get turned around back here, right? So, going parabolic from down here, no, it doesn't. Or from down here, it's going to bounce off the 200-week moving average and go parabolic. No, it won't. It takes time for the ship to get turned around, as I said, the entire way. A couple of months at least for the ship to get turned around, and then it slowly builds momentum back up, and then you start to see the big moves to the upside. So no, it doesn't. But yeah, I had that on there. I almost posted it like I did a lot in 2022. Many people missed that part of me, but I'm going to stay more mature. I am 45, right? I am 45. So at some point, when I was 42. I guess I wasn't mature enough, and 45. I don't know. I'll probably have at some point. I'll probably give in and have to do it. But speaking of 90,000, you've got the trending dots on the weekly chart right around 90,000 as well. So could battle the trending dots for a week or two or more, and then you start to see closes below it. It didn't happen back here once it, well, yeah, about a week or two, right? So tested it, pumped back up a little bit, like it tested down 53, came back up to 59, and then that closed below it with the sell signal. It's all she wrote on the weekly chart. It's all she wrote after that. So no sell signal on the weekly chart. It's a lagging indicator on the weekly chart. So if it plays out similar, could test the dots, and then the next week close down here, right? I don't know. We'll see. That's Bitcoin. G-Rod, you got it. I haven't looked at Palo Alto Networks in a long, long time. I already said that, but there's a weekly chart, pending sell signal, right off the bat. Right off the bat, right? Pending sell signal on the weekly chart. So this is what would happen with Bitcoin, right? You have that bear. It's not a bearish engulfing, but it's a bearish candle with that high wick to the upside, and then it closed below the trending dots. Then you had another close below the trending dots on the weekly chart. Then you had another one. Now the trending dots are starting to flip red. Now you have a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. So if we start looking at all of the RSI and the week, so we'll just do the higher time frame on this one, G-Rod. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. So if we start mapping it out, drawing it out, right? There. Oh, recently I think was it Panama? Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Right? Kind of close below there. Doesn't mean it couldn't. See where the trending dots are? If the trending dots take some time to roll over, right? You could see like price come down, come back up, put in a lower high, back test. So it could take the elevator down right away. We never know exactly how it's going to play out, or kind of back test and put it in that lower high at some point too, letting the trending dots kind of catch up over there. And let's change that one to red to kind of mimic the trending dots, right? So and then the lower high, let's change it to blue just for fun, right? So that's kind of how it'd play out. And then you can see the 200-week moving average all the way down here at 112. Speaking of bearish divergence long term, long term bearish divergence, just like we talked about on Bitcoin, followed by RSI sell signal last week. Candle closed below the trending dots, and now we have a pending sell signal. And then, of course, we have the MACD. The MACD had bearish divergence as well on the weekly chart, as you can see here, right? And we had a crossover, and it went red, and you can see a little bit that the histogram was decreasing as well. So do you have any follow-up questions on that one, G-Rod? But that's the longer term. I haven't even looked at the daily, but oh yeah, I would have been out of that already. Divergence, probably divergence on the daily chart too. MACD cross, yeah. Even the indicators picking up divergence on the daily chart. So thank you, market makers, for not always. It's not always. Thank you, market makers, for continuing to give us divergence followed by a lower high, followed by the sell signal, right? And at some point, you have to have a plan in place to lock in profits, right? So if you've got this upward trend line, you got bearish divergence, you've got a lower high, then price starts breaking down the trend line, breaking down the trending dots. Trending dots are rolling over. You got sell signal. How many confirmations do you need to hit that sell signal? Ooh, alert, 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 alert. Oh, trading view alert. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Okay, so that's Panama. A lot of similarities. Divergence on the daily, divergence on the higher time frames. So there you go. Who's next? I think it was Theta. Okay. Well, let's switch gears back to crypto. Right? And we'll go down the list because you can see Theta down here. So maybe we won't spend as much time on Theta because we'll spend time on altcoins. But you had the bearish divergence on Ethereum. You had that lower high, just like Panwa. Then you had the sell signal, right? Then you had the sell signal as well, right? So broke down, price hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside, pumped back up. This could be a lower high. So if this is the high, right? Then you got a lower high, sneaky lower high. And then you've got what looks like another lower high over here, right? And then you got the sell signal again. MACD, bearish crossover pending, back into target 3. Target 4 still has not been hit as of yet, right? Still has not been hit. There's a small CME gap over here that lines up with target 4 as well. That's Ethereum. Algo pumped all the way up. Had that breakout and then back to a sell signal, right? So let's see. See if we can kind of draw it out like this. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So this is target 4 out of 4. We'll see if it finds support there or not. I can't remember what that's from, but that's algo. Even if Bitcoin starts going through a correction, it's possible some of these altcoins take off for alt season. Whether it's like the last alt seasons or not, it is pretty oversaturated with so many different coins out there. So when there's less coins, those coins can pump a lot more. If there is going to be like an alt season or a mini alt season and it pumps while Bitcoin's going through its correction, then it might not be all of them, might not be all of the coins, or it might not be as much as what we hope for, right? So that's that. Last sell signal on Algo was the 7th, so 2 days ago. XLM, similar thoughts, right? Similar thoughts. No sell signal yet, but starting to break back down below the trending dots. Probably going to have a sell signal in the near future. Price has not hit target 4 yet on XLM. XRP, similar thoughts. I think that there was a pending sell signal yesterday, pumped back up, and so we could see a pending sell signal on XRP in the near future. What else? What else? Oh yeah, Theta. We'll get to it. XRP also has not hit target 4 yet. It's hit 3 out of the 4 targets to the upside. I removed target 1 just to kind of keep the chart clean. It's still up around target 2, so I'm going to leave it for now. H bar as pending sell signal for the 2nd straight day. There was a pending sell signal yesterday. Another candle closed below the trailing dots. Again, that's a very bearish looking candle. So 2 candles in a row below the trailing dots. H bar is one of the crypto assets that has not cleared the bearish divergence. If it were to clear the bearish divergence, price would be back below 15 cents. Will it happen all at once? Will it happen today? Will it happen tomorrow? We don't know, but has not happened, has not been cleared, in my opinion, yet. Pending sell signal. Price also has not hit target 4 yet. Cardano, similar thoughts, right? Similar. Had a sell signal yesterday. Has not hit target 4 yet. Rarible hit all those targets to the upside, and then most likely have hit 4, if not 5, probably 4 targets to the downside. So Rarible already has hit 4 targets to the downside. Sand has already hit 4 targets to the downside. So we'll see if it goes down lower. There's always like a 5th target somewhere around here. Doesn't get hit as often, so I don't put it on the charts too often. Mana, similar thoughts to Sand. Probably 4 out of 4 targets to the upside. Pumped up higher than 4 targets to the upside, as you can see back here. So to the upside, to the downside, that is Mana. Had a sell signal a couple days ago. Filecoin hit 4 out of 4 targets to the upside. Eyeball test, I can tell you that most likely hit 4 out of 4 targets to the downside as well. It's possible it hits a 5th, but 4 to the upside, 4 to the downside, right? Chainlink. Ooh, I'm sorry. I left this on there. Ugh. So if you kind of extend out what TradingView's neckline is, I know I can already hear the comments. This is TradingView's neckline. Don't shoot the messenger. Well, you had a candle close below, fake out to the downside, pump back up, put in a lower high, and then another close below it is a higher probability that prices are going lower and will continue to go lower. A candle close below here confirms this lower high with another lower low over there. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, almost confirmed, right? Almost confirmed. So that would be pretty crazy. I don't think a lot of people would be ready for Chainlink to hit this head and shoulders target all the way down below $10. Will it? I don't know. We don't know. But that would be a massive 70% correction. 70%. Currently, wick to wick, 37%. So more than halfway there of that potential target. Wild. Just wild. I think I just saw the other day we were going back to the moon. Solana back into target 4. I did add target 5. It's one of the ones I added target 5 back onto. So let's see. Let's kind of redraw this out longer term, right? Longer term. So back into target 4 right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But had a sell signal a couple days ago. Near back below target 4. Not good. It's not good. That's why I said on Bitcoin, you don't want to see it start closing below target 4, right? Yeah, there's target 5, but could mean that we're going to go considerably lower. Allah Sabi, good to see you, Jesse. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while on the comments. or in the live streams. Happy New Year. Ugur, Aiden, yep, haven't seen you in a while. I love your emotionless and like steel projections. That's the only way to be, because when I got too hyped up in 2021, yes, I still hit my goal in hindsight, but I was disappointed with myself. And I had the come to they call it the come to Jesus moment, right? The come to realization moment that it was the night of Thanksgiving 2021. And I'm like, everything is off. Everything is off. Everything I've been talking about for 2 months of looking for a potential breakdown just broke down. And that was like my aha moment. It was Thanksgiving evening, right? And then the whole time I was like, all right, let me just get back to California. I was visiting family in Arizona. The whole trip home, thought about it, 6 hour drive, 5.5, 6 hour drive. And I thought about it. And I was like, I'm going to get back in the lab. And then I started posting a ton of bearish charts after like 3 or 4 days, thinking about it, confirming my own thoughts, blah, 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 and had to pivot, right? And that's when I posted my short December 7th on Ethereum at $4,384, right? Got to pivot. I thought I was late to the party. In hindsight, I was late for my standards, but I was really early compared to the other experts. Yeah, I'll keep taking jabs because they're still saying the same thing. Weekly bullfights, best video. Yep, you're right. Boom. A lot of gold. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay, let's get back to theta. So I don't forget. All right, and the altcoins, right? So this is near. Doesn't look great. If you get a candle close back below target 4 again, and then you start losing the 200-week moving average, not a good sign. Not a good sign for near. This should be pretty strong support, and it's already testing back below it. Dot back into target 4, right? Back into target 4. Dot is still well below the 200-week moving average. Never even got back to it. Unbelievable. Fetch back below. This is one of the ones that I said looked different, right? If you zoom out on Fetch, it looked like it already had its high, right? This is one of the few that made a new all-time high from 2021, besides Bitcoin, that made a new all-time high from 2021 and looked like it was back into a bear market, right? This is a weekly chart. So pumped up all the way from here to there, 1,300%, right? Then from here to here, almost 80% correction. Very typical for a crypto crypto, including Bitcoin, altcoins correction, right? The odds continue to increase. You got that one bounce, right? Not what people hope for, right? And so they probably still didn't even get out here, and they would have been down. If they bought at the top, we'll just do wick to wick, and they got out to the wick up here, then they only lost 37%. But you hear all the people calling back for fetch.ai go to $100, right? Well, it didn't happen. It's not happening right now, and it's back below the trailing dots, and it's looking bearish, right? You look at the MACD crossing back negative around the 0 line, could be going negative again. So it's in a bear market since March 2024, right? In hindsight, 80% correction and over 6 months long, is several definitions of investor definitions that you can find on investopedia.com. Consider like a stock market correction of 20% or more, or a correction for more than 6 months, a bear market, right? So that's stock market investors consider 20% or 6 months a bear market. Crypto to me is more like 8 months. I'm sorry, 80%, 70 to 80%, and it lasts a lot longer than 6 months. So Here we are, has not made a new all-time high. It's been 10 months, 80% correction, and is currently off and breaking back down again on higher time frames, 62%. Fetch was one of the ones on this bounce that said it looks different to me because it already made a new all-time high and then it corrected 80%. So take that for what it is. If you're still holding Fetch, it's possible we go down to 200-week moving average. It's possible we go down below that. We don't know. That'd be another 49%. So now on to theta. On to theta, TRK. That was kind of your last pump, and now it's breaking back down and trending back down. So we'll see. Maybe the bottom's in. Maybe. Theta looks very similar to the other altcoins we've already covered. Pumped. What a pump that was. All the way to the top wick, 170%. Getting overbought. Looks like bearish divergence. Probably was. It was bearish divergence followed by R-size sell signal, right? Huge bearish candle. Of course, it pumps back up. Lower high, confirming. Lower low, confirming the lower high. Battle. Now it's breaking back down again. Now it is breaking back down again. So where's the bottom? I don't know. But could go through correction for another month or two before it catches another bounce. We don't know if that bounce is going to be high or not. But that is theta. Had another sell signal over here on Tuesday. I think we flashed looking at it, but I didn't really cover it. So that's the daily chart, weekly chart, reverse a candle, a lower high, and it's back into the trending dots. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. But daily chart is bearish as of right now on theta. What else? Woo-wee. What else? Stock market reopens up on Friday, so it's not actually live. Could bounce up, could bounce lower. Who knows? But futures is open. Futures. So let's take a look at futures. Should we do a quick recap of the Magnificent Seven? Could we just go down this list? NASDAQ futures is open. All right, pointing out the sell signal a couple days ago. Data, yep, covered it. Got it. Gold. All right, we'll get the gold. We'll do gold futures though. Doc Thomas. You go by Thomas? Some people go by Tomas. Is it Thomas or Tomas? A, Thomas, or B, Tomas? Yeah, rising wedge on NASDAQ futures, breaking down. Right. So there we go. SP 500, the pyramid. Just messing around in the last live stream. Hey, Thomas, it is. Hey, you're still here. SP 500, rising wedge. I think there's bearish divergence. Oh yeah, the indicator's picking it up. Bearish divergence. Look at the indicator pick up all that bearish divergence. Buy hard at 90K. Heard that one before. If you buy the dip, don't forget to sell the rip. I've heard this one so many times. I've heard it so many times. Buy the dip until the dip keeps dipping. So bearish divergence on SP 500, lower high, lower low, confirming lower high, and then soon could be seeing another lower low, confirming the last lower high, which just means higher probabilities that we're going to go see price hit target 2, 3, and 4. This is just the eyeball test. I didn't actually map it out. Sometimes I get lazy. Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones. Dow Jones Transportation sometimes leads the way, as they say. And you can see just that, right? You can see just that. The Dow Jones Transportation, I think someone called it, or some people call it Dow theory, right? I don't know. I don't know all about the Dow theory. I don't really care. But uh, Dow Jones Transportation sometimes leads the way as a leading indicator for the actual Dow Jones. And the Dow Jones Transportation is currently down or dropped 12%. It's currently down 9%, right? So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Dow Jones is currently down. It looks like they corrected about the same time, about 6%. So, Russell, yep, we talked about that. Covered it. That was price uptrend. This is price starting to go parabolic for the Russell 2000, at least going parabolic, and then starting to roll over, and then that last sell signal there, right? Dollar still in uptrend, right? Still. Nvidia stock market is closed. Head and shoulders pattern, and then you see price come all the way back up. So here's an instance where patterns, right? So I drew this rising wedge a long time ago, and I put this rising wedge target out on November 22nd. And so far, 2 out of 4 targets have been hit so far of my own personal targets. Now we have 2 patterns, a rising wedge and head and shoulders being drawn by TradingView, right? And both of them estimate to be right around target 4. So the head and shoulders pattern comes down to target 4. The rising wedge pattern comes down to target 4. We'll see if it plays out or not. Had a quick fake out first. There must have been a lot of shorts, and they short squeezed it all the way back up for a double top, and then broke back down to 139. The targets are still valid in my own personal opinion. The targets are there for a reason, and we will find out. It's back in the target one already. We'll find out tomorrow, Monday, whatever it is. Price starts to break back down, hits target 2, 3, 4. So I already have a lot of reasons for target 4. Throw in the rising wedge, throw in the head and shoulders pattern. There's a lot of reasons why price could come back down to 112. That would be massive, right? That would be massive. Even to the middle of 26%, all the way down the head and shoulders, 27%. For a $1 trillion company, massive gaps below. This gap down here is over 20%. If it's a 4 or 5% gap, it may never get filled. It's a smaller gap. 20% gap. 20% gap is massive. What do I always say? What do I always say in gaps? That's right. Gaps do great as targets. Not all gaps get filled, but they work great as targets. That's what I always say, right? I've been saying that for a long time. Not all gaps get filled, but they work as great. They work great as targets. A high percentage of 20% gaps get filled. A high percentage of 20% gaps get filled. That was a massive gap at $30, right? It happened way back here. happened way back here. Way back here. And so the 200-week moving average just even crossed it. So it would even surprise me if it hits that. But it's you got this gap over here was filled. This gap was filled and then took off higher. This gap is smaller. Let's see. Yeah, that gap is smaller, I think. Let's see. From wick to wick. Oh, hey, what happened? So from wick. Yeah, smaller 8% gap, right? And this one got filled. This gap got filled, right? And that was from wick. That was 6%, but that gap was filled. Continued upward. So, yeah, it's got this 8% gap, and then you got this huge, massive 20% gap that I pointed out back then on the live streams because it was massive. Yeah, basically 20%, right? So you're going to tell me that never gets filled? Never? It's possible. It's possible. But I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't place a bet on it. Everyone, I can hear it now in the comment, or I can see it now in the comments. Well, show me your short. Show me your short. Not shorting the video probably. I only short it. I do short, but I'm only going to short a couple assets at a time, maybe one at a time. And I did short the Nasdaq futures, so I'm good with that. I don't need to short everything. I don't need to. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody anymore. just do you make your swing trades, collect coins, whatever you do, and on to the next. Keep chipping away. Meta, I know the stock market's closed, so we're not going to spend too much time on them. Stock market is closed. Yeah, that's about it on the stock market. What else? Gold. That's right. Gold futures. Let's do gold futures. MACD back above the zero line on gold weekly chart. Right? Pending RSI buy signal. Already had a buy signal on the weekly chart. So gold is currently bullish. But if you look back, like other than this pump here and this pump here, literally just sideways, right? If you kind of zoom out for a second and you look at so I think it's great for swing trading, especially for lower time frames with leverage. But if you look back, let's see, let's just kind of eyeball. Just kind of eyeball it. That's the way I kind of see it, right? That's the first thing I see on the chart. So I can't really add too much value when it's in consolidation, right? So it's basically been sideways since September 2024. Basically. Of course, a deviation. You can see that it looks like a deviation there because it's the only pump up, and a deviation there to the downside. And you got like somewhere in the middle around there, right? So the battle for Middle Earth on gold is about 2670 eyeball test for more than a year. And so we're back above that. And we've been way above it, and we've been not way, but we've been above it and we've been below it, right? So that's about it. Weekly chart bullish. I think that's the daily chart. Weekly chart still bullish, right? Yeah. So that was the daily chart. Let's see. Can we see anything? No long-term divergence, right? Yeah. No long-term divergence. Back above the zero. Back above the trailing dots, I should say. That's a negative, right? That's a negative. It doesn't mean it couldn't flip back bullish. And you got the histogram. It's a lagging indicator, right? Lagging. But that's weekly chart, 2-week chart, still above the trending dots. MACD bearish crossover on the 2-week chart. It's just somewhere in between, right? It's just been ranging for more than a year. So that's the way I kind of look at it. That's the way I look at it. So that's about it. So if you look at that, September. Oh no, not a year. Oh my god, I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. What has it been? How long have we been on here? Over 2 hours? Yeah, I'm losing my mind. It's not been a year. Sorry. September 2024. I did say that, but so we're looking at not even 4 months yet, but 4 months of consolidating basically sideways. Within what is this, about a 7% range? So 7% range gold. What else? Any other requests? Let's see. I think that's about it. I don't think anything else is jumping out at me. VIX market is closed. Market is closed on the VIX, right? Or the VIX, is the VIX open? What? What else? MicroStrategy closed. I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hit 90,000 on today's stream. So we'll have to probably do another. Let's see, 90,000. Where is that? Style. What color do we want it? Blood. No, I can't see it. Blue. Blue. There's 90,000. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna hit that. I don't think we're gonna hit today. So maybe in a couple days, a week, whatever it is. Might have to do a different $90,000 watch party over there. Thomas, aka Doc, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for everyone's support. I appreciate you. This is probably the longest. Yeah, this is the longest live stream I've done. It's been a long time since I've been on camera this long, but those live coaching groups that I did, some of those went 3 hours. Woo, man, I was tired after that. I went all out on those 3 hours. So with that, hope everyone has a good day. I don't know if I'm going to jump back on tomorrow. Probably not, unless there's something major developing, or we're getting closer to the 90,000. Maybe we'll do another $90,000 watch party, but maybe not. I don't know. I haven't decided. But if something's important, maybe I'll jump on it again tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. And also, we're going to see if you guys are hitting like 50 likes on the X app and like 10 reposts, that's really helping me out. And like 6,200, 6,300 views, 5,000 views, whatever it is, that'll probably motivate me to come back. So help me. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm not sure if I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, but stay tuned. I'll let you know. And hope everyone's doing well. All right. That's about it. Adios.